So, we are back again with another Ripple, XRP, and generally SEC update, as there's a lot of stuff going on. And fun fact, every single time I open my browser, there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, John Deaton, who is a very well-known lawyer in the Ripple versus SEC case, had a couple of very interesting words for us. His 2023 predictions are this: the Ripple case does not settle until after we get a decision from Judge Torres. 2. An exchange, maybe more than one, is sued for selling unregistered securities. 3. Investigation into Sam Bankman fraud. Meetings uncovers bad poopies. And Gensler resigns before the end of the year. I believe it was not long after he tweeted this that I went over to Twitter to state about this: the SEC lawsuit against Gemini. What's going on with that? Well, again, guys, take a look at my Twitter if we do, and scroll down just a little bit, we shall find it. It is right over here. Breaking news: the SEC charges Gemini and Genesis for the unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities through the Gemini Earn lending program. And if we all remember, the Earn lending program that they're referring to here is particularly a hot topic at the SEC because, well, when Coinbase tried to get themselves another Earn, or I guess an initial Earn or so product, the SEC was very much against it and went full force against them. And so from that moment on, we knew that the SEC was not so happy with US lending programs of this crypto sort. It is to me pretty spectacular that it took this long for the SEC to go after parties, and I'm assuming that it's because Genesis was not in the best of situations, and for that same reason, I guess Gemini neither. Hopefully you guys are up to date with the DCG situation, and just things are in a little bit of a iffy spot for Genesis. Let's just put it like that. Now, in that same field, to get back to his predictions, I'm not sure if that satisfies his second point here. I'm personally thinking it might, because this already shows that the SEC is not afraid to go after crypto exchanges in the US, and maybe all it took was for FTX to fall, because the moment that they did, maybe the FTX was the one keeping up the barriers for the SEC to come on in. Maybe they weren't evil after all and had good intentions and had to do some fraudulent schemes to get more money to save crypto. Who knows? It doesn't need saving, but maybe that's what they thought. It's possible. On the side, there's still a little bit of potential for some stuff to be found regarding Sam Bankman-Fried, but we'll see. More importantly is the fact that crypto exchanges right now are a hot topic for the SEC. And so it's only a matter of time before potentially some other major cryptos might be sued, but I think it's gonna wait until the Ripple lawsuit is finished, and whatever result comes out from that will also dictate whether the SEC is gonna go on a little massacre against crypto or not. I know I've said this before, but you guys have to understand, I right now am really buying as much XRP as I possibly can, because I don't think it's going to take more than another 3 or so months for this to all end. Again, I am not a lawyer, but I honestly don't think it's going to take too long, and so I am stacking up. I'm stacking up. Now, taking a look at John Deaton's first point, some people are confused about my prediction that the Ripple case doesn't settle until after Judge Torres renders a decision. A settlement could occur after, which would eliminate any potential jury trial and also eliminate any potential appeal. He's basically saying, hey, potentially after the judge has made a decision on the matter, we could actually get the SEC and Ripple to still come to some sort of settlement. That could be very interesting. Again, the major issue that's being worked out right now in the case, for anybody wondering, is the tussle over whether or not Hinman's email should be kept private. We all think they should be made public, even though there might not be any mention of XRP, but that's for sure the most hot topic in the lawsuit right now. And obviously, the most hot topic in the crypto space is everybody wondering exactly what Gary Gensler's role is. Is he trying to get crypto for himself? Has he got some messenger from up above, so to speak, who's instructing him to do this to the crypto space? Or just what exactly is happening? According to the chairman, most of the existing cryptos will crash at some point, bearing painful losses to the investors, and he stated, most of these 10 or 15,000, as of this point 20,000, tokens will fail. That's because venture capital fails, new startup fail, but also because history tells us there's not much room for microcurrencies, meaning, we have the US dollar and Europe has the euro and the like. He to some degree has a point. Hear me out. There isn't the need for currencies everywhere to be different, even though they don't really serve any sort of extra purpose. What I mean with that is making a currency for the sake of making another currency is not necessarily going to always work out. And that again is where the major flaw in his theory lies. He doesn't talk about utility. If we take utility into account, there's a very logical reason for there to be microcurrencies or many of these. Gensler said that the soldiers should not be getting caught up in the FOMO, as these Bitcoin and other alternative coins are non-compliant and highly speculative. Again, this is coming from a regulator that for some reason wants to just grab all cryptos under their power, probably because he understands the importance that crypto will have if he doesn't step in harshly and tries to just dismiss everything. There's a very high chance that crypto is just going to really spiral out of control where he cannot handle it anymore, and the government is going to have to make a new unit for it basically, and he might want to be before, where if he establishes enough dominance before the government basically from a higher up level, or Congress I should say, makes an entire new unit, that he is the head of the SEC, which overcouples all these smaller divisions. Maybe that's his career goal. I'm speculating here. Now again, if we're talking about the good job the SEC is doing, we have to of course include here this article. SEC lawsuit against Gemini is super lame, confirms co-founder Tyler Winklevoss. Again, we're talking here. As of today, investors are still unable to withdraw their crypto assets because there's not some good stuff with Genesis, as we talked about earlier. A public spat has since erupted between two companies, with Cameron Winklevoss accusing Genesis of withholding nearly $1 billion in customers' assets after Genesis suspended withdrawals in November 2022. As of today, investors are still unable to withdraw. Quote, "We allege that Genesis and Gemini offered unregistered securities to the public by bypassing disclosure requirements designed to protect investors," said Gary Gensler. "Today's charges build on previous actions to make clear to the marketplace and the investing public that crypto lending platforms and other intermediaries need to comply with our time-tested security laws. It's not optional, it's the law," Gensler stated. The SEC is seeking permanent injunctive relief, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, plus prejudgment interest and civil penalties. And again, Tyler called the charges disappointing. "This action does nothing to further our efforts and help earn users get their assets back. This behavior is totally counterproductive." Quote, "The SEC chose to announce their lawsuit to the press before notifying us. Super lame," tweeted Winklevoss, adding, "It's unfortunate that they're optimizing for political points instead of helping us advance the cause of 340,000 earned users and other creditors. We look forward to defending ourselves against this manufactured parking ticket, and we'll make sure this doesn't distract us from the important recovery work we are doing." Taking a little step back, Gensler is also not a big fan of Bitcoin-linked spot ETFs, as they have been denied time after time after time in the US, and that might make him seem like the crypto boogeyman, being the hawk watching over all of it, just spotting everything that's going a little bit astray and then chiming in. But no. Gensler is also come under fire for his handling of the FTX scandal. Democrat Richie Torres asked the U.S. Government Accountability Office to conduct a review of the SEC's failure to protect the public from the egregious mismanagement and malfeasance of FTX. And Matthew Siegel, head of digital asset research at New York fund manager Van Eck, went as far as to theorize that crypto perma-bear Gensler could be on the way out for his alleged mismanagement of that specific scandal. Investigations into other security law violations and into other entities relating to Gemini's and Genesis' alleged misconduct are ongoing. And my point here being as well, if Gary was such a smart guy and he knew that this lend product and whatnot were already wrong and that they were ethically, bad and whatnot, why only now go after them, and why do it in this manner where the chance of people getting the money back because of an action like this only become worse than trying to let them figure out how to get people their money back, basically. Again, the situation runs quite deep with DCG, as we discussed before, so it's not as if there's really an easy fix because there's just some money missing, so to speak. But you know what, guys? If crypto indeed goes on for a little bit of a push here, and so we're not falling back down, things are going to start getting extremely, extremely bullish extremely quickly yet again. And all these attitudes are going to shift, and all the people are going to be against Gary Gensler, and he's going to have a lot of a harder time going after crypto products. It's only right now that things are going down that he has so much power, but when things are going up, people are going to be way more outspoken when he takes or gets rid of something really, really good, so to speak. Even Lark Davis now switched around again, saying, "Just a reminder that we should all be rooting for XRP to win their court case." yeah, people just go with the flow, as we've covered before. It doesn't seem to be the same for Gensler, and that might sting him very soon when things all of a sudden get back to being bullish. But yeah. Guys, that was it for today's little update. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and maybe subscribe for another crypto video coming out later today or tomorrow. And I'll see you guys again in another one.